Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Mythic Booster Channel and Pokemon Go. Today we're going to start talking about Gen 2. So get excited because it's potentially here soon. Keep watching to find out more. It's going to be an exciting one. Hey guys, so let's talk about it. Gen 2. There's been a lot of rumours flying around just recently, and I want to start addressing some of those, I suppose. I don't suppose I know more than anyone else does, but I want to start talking about on the channel here, and it all stems around the leaked report from a Starbucks employee. No one knows if this is fake, no one knows if this is real, but it seems to be grabbing some sort of credibility. So, I've got it up on the screen. I'm also going to put a bit of an image down the bottom of the screen so you guys can read it and I can pick out certain bits. So what we've got on here, it's a bit of information. It says marketing efforts to drive more customers into our stores. And it's like a bit of a rubbish looking Word document. It's got some information about Groupons, so 5 for £10, Facebook, grande holiday beverage between 2 and 5, discount something, so I don't know if that's discount for Pokemon GO players if you show your account or something on those days. Verizon, e-gift, but this is the bit that everyone's getting rolled up about. It says here, Pokemon 12/7, so 7th of December, we would assume, launch of Pokemon version 2. Now, Pokemon, the game's called Pokemon, so is this a poor attempt? If someone was trying to fake this, I think they would at least write Pokemon right. But however, I'm going to mention something that Nick says, and to be honest with you, I'm inclined to agree with him. He said that actually, if you gave this document to someone that wasn't in the know about Pokemon, you could quite easily misconstrue and call it Pokemon if you hear people say it, and that's potentially why it's written in this way. And I think, as an explanation for this, I think it's a really good one. I've been trying to think of other reasons apart from, hey, it's just fake and someone's done a really poor effort at writing it correctly. But yeah, I think that seems pretty legit. So after that, it says Starbucks stores will be part of a grand opening, launch, who knows. And it says comes to store with a Pokemon Frappuccino. Lures will be dropped at all Starbucks stores that will provide even more direct interest. Now, Pokemon version 2. Version 2 can mean so many different things. Version 2 could mean Generation 2. Version 2 purely could mean a massive update. If they was to drop trading, a tracker, PvP into Pokemon Go in time for the holidays, I'm pretty sure that would, legitimately be version 2. That would be a massive update, and I think we would pretty much forgive Niantic for not releasing Gen 2 before Christmas gets here. We all want Gen 2, we all want it now. I think the people that are really playing this game and really getting stuck into this game are ready for it. Most people are towards the end of their decks. I'm at the end. I need to get my mark, as I've said before, but I'm just waiting for good IV Grimer. And then I, just haven't got the regionals. But, I'm going to get those. My brother lives in Australia. We have friends that live in America. And I've always wanted to go to China. And frankly, if I get the right plane and the right stopover going to Australia, I can potentially just get one on a stopover. So that's not hard. I'm close enough to the end of my decks that, hey, you know what? I'm ready for Gen 2 to be here now, so I can start concentrating on those. I'm sure we'll get some new regionals again. So actually, if I can wait until Gen 2 does drop, it means when we go to Asia, America, Australia, blah, 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 I'm going to be able to get 2 regionals at once rather than having to do 2 trips and wait again. So that's kind of my thinking at the moment. Not that I don't want to travel there a lot, but hey, to fly to Australia from here is about £1,000. So a lot of money. I think that's currently about $1,300, $1,400. It's a lot of money. So, yeah. I'm not going to hold out my hopes for this. I'm interested in it. I'm excited about it. If Gen 2 comes, was it 12th? So that's 2 weeks basically from now. We could have Gen 2. We'll see. Anyway, that's enough about that. What we are now going to start talking about is what Pokemon from Gen 1, so what we have now, do we need to really concentrate on ready for Gen 2. That's what we're going to talk about now. Okay, let's cut to the chase. Let's get this information out that you guys really, really need to know. So, Generation 1, we've got a number of Pokemon that in Generation 2 get another evolution or a different evolution. And this is what I want to talk about, because some of the Pokemon at the moment that we are ignoring, that we all hate, namely Zubat, gets an epic evolution in Generation 2. And that's what we're going to start talking about. So the way I'm going to give you this information, I'm going to use bits of information off my phone from the app that I've spoken about before for the Pokemon GO moves. If you refer back to the previous video that I'll drop up here, that's from our gym battling video. It tells you how I use that to essentially get all the information for sort of Pokemon movesets, etc. So I'm going to use that to communicate some CP and HP figures to you about the Pokemon once they evolve, and that way you can find out all the information you need to know for Candies and things you need to be watching out for. So we're going to start off from here. So phone. What I'm going to actually do as well, I'll probably maybe try and link some screenshots over. I don't really want to flood the screen with loads of sort of fancy graphics. We'll probably put a picture of the evolved Pokemon somewhere. I want to probably put the CP and HP somewhere, because I think that's kind of relevant. That's the stuff that people want to know. But I'm also going to tell you the attack, defense, and stamina as well. And that's quite cool. So, the first Pokemon we are going to talk about that gets a cool evolution is Golbat. So, we will end up with Zubat, Golbat, and then Crobat when Generation 2 gets here. So, the information for Crobat, it will be a flying poison type Pokemon. The max CP will be 2348 and 146 HP. So if you can compare that to Golbat that only has 100 or 1830 CP, that's a massive increase. 2300 CP Pokemon are the better Pokemon in the game. So flying and poison type, attack of 182, defense of 182, and a stamina of 170. That makes Crobat a force to be reckoned with. It arguably, I'm going to double check this back, even puts it up as a new highest flying type after Pidgeot, which was the current best flying type in Generation 1. So, that's Crobat. Keep hold of those Zubat candies. That's really important. Okay, next on our list to keep an eye out for is the Poliwag candies. And again, we get a different third evolution for Poliwag. So we get currently Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and then Poliwrath. Poliwrath has always been one of my favourites. It's one of my top Pokemon currently. And we now get a different, I suppose, a joint third evolution. So after Poliwhirl, we get Politoed. Politoed's a really cool looking Pokemon. Say we'll put the image over here, and it just beats out Poliwrath as well. So the max CP for Politoed is 2460 and 154 HP. The HP is exactly the same as Poliwrath. They both have 154 HP. But however, the max CP, if I just go back here, is just beaten. So Poliwrath's max CP is 1441 compared to Politoed's 1460. So Politoed a little bit stronger. Attack stat 182, 190, 180. If I actually compare that to Poliwrath, 182, 187, 180. So 182. So yeah, again, Politoed that little bit up again. So it's going to be a really cool Pokemon. It's going to be a strong Pokemon as well. But actually saying that, if you look 2460, that's only just higher than Crobat, which is what we was talking about a minute ago. That's how good Crobat is going to be. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do the split evolution. Yeah, we'll have to really have a look at that. So, going back to the Pokemon games, this might give us some sort of insight. Politoed was actually gamed in the Pokemon games by trading Poliwhirl whilst holding a King's Rock. Now, there's lots of Pokemon that are gonna, have this issue. We're going to talk about another one in a bit with Onix. I don't know if they're going to bring all these extra items in. I don't know if you'll potentially just pick up a King's Rock from swiping a Pokestop. Maybe they'll get loads of new items you can get from Pokestops, and they'll just be really, really rare. I don't know, once you've got a King's Rock and you use it, it'll go, or you'll always have one. It would seem to make sense that if they do drop a King's Rock from a Pokestop, you'd use it to get your Politoed, and then you would have to find another one, which would make it harder to get these Pokemon. I don't think that's such a bad thing. It makes them more unique, makes them more fun to get. But hey, Poliwag Candy, Politoed's going to be another one to look out for. Okay, moving on. The next bit of candy that we need to keep an eye out for is the Slowpoke candy, because my joint favourite Pokemon, along with Alakazam, is Slowking. You may have seen it sneaking on some of my headers, some of my screenshots I use quite a bit. It's a really cool Pokemon. I like it in the movie. Yeah, just a cool Pokemon basically. And it's another Pokemon that evolves. So currently we get Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro. How you got Slowking was again to trade it holding a King's Rock. I don't know how they're just gonna... I really hope they don't just do random evolutions, because I think if every time you save up your candy, you trade it, and then you may get a Slowpoke, you may get a Slowbro, or you may get a Slowking, I think will be a shame. I think there's better ways they could do it, and I think why not drop these items, I don't think they have to explain it. They Niantic don't really explain anything about their game currently, so if all the people just kind of started getting these King Stones, King's Rocks drop from Pokestops, people would have to go and find out. That's what the internet's here for. Go and look it up. You'll be able to find out this information. I haven't played loads of the Pokemon games myself. I've had to look this stuff up. Obviously, I've seen the TV series. I've played bits of the games. But yeah, I'm learning. We're all learning, and that's the point of this game. And I think that's the point that Niantic keep on making. They want us to act as a community, and they want us to learn. And the way you learn this day and age is look for things on the internet, talk to people, communicate, and find out this information. That's the way we've got to go. So, Slowking, keep hold of your Slowpoke candy as well. Next on our list for keeping an eye out for candy is going to be Onix. Onix at the moment being a massive, really cool Pokemon. You see it loads in the TV series. It was obviously one of Brock's main Pokemon that he had. But in Pokemon GO, currently it's not that great. But again, it gets a better evolution in Gen 2. And it's going to be one of the first proper Steel-type Pokemon we're going to see. We have Steel-type moves at the moment. Metal Claw being one of them. It's actually a really good move. And it's going to be used by Steelix. Steelix is another one with a trade evolution. This time trading an Onix, holding on to a Metal Coat. Put these items in. I'm sure Niantic have already decided how they're going to do this. I think put the items in. So, yeah. We're going to need some more information again. So, with Steelix, where are we at? Information for you. So, information for Steelix. Ground Steel type, max CP 2080, HP 130, then with attack 148, 238, defense 150, stamina. That racks up quite highly against Onix. If I pull the Onix data now, there's a massive difference. I mean, Onix's max CP is 1002. That's 1000 CP more when Steelix comes in. That's going to be really cool. I've just realised as well I didn't give you any stats for Slowking. Rather than go back and re-recording, I want this to be quite organic and quite fluid. So when I edit, I'll still put all the max CP, max HP in for Slowking, so you'll still see it all. It's going to be there. Read it on the screen. So we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to the next one now. Right, the next Pokemon we're going to look at is Horsey. This is going to be a massive deal. Horsey Candy, I've been saving up for quite a while now. It's not the most common Pokemon for me, but I've been saving and I've been saving and I've been saving because in Gen 2 we are going to get Kingdra. Kingdra is going to be one of the most strongest water type Pokemon by far, and it's going to be an amazing gym defender. If you think how good Vaporeon is as a gym defender, Kingdra is going to be huge. To give you an idea, its max CP is 2,671 with a HP of 131. That's huge. To give you an idea about its attack and defense stats, its defense stat is 208. Snorlax's is only 190. That's almost 20 difference in defense. 208 attack, 150 for stamina. It's going to be such a cool Pokemon. It really, really is. It's a third evolution, so I think we'll probably have the standard third evolution cost. You know, it'll be 100. I think that's fine. You know, that's absolutely fine. Just keep saving those candy. It's going to be a massive, massive deal. So if you've got old Seadras currently, hold on to them, especially if they've got good IVs, because they're the ones, even if you don't have good movesets, you'll be able to evolve into Kingdra. It's going to be a really important one to keep hold of. Keep collecting those candies, especially when you live by the sea as well. Okay, carrying on. The next Pokemon we're going to look at is Scyther Candy. Now, this is a tricky one. Scyther was, again, another trade evolution. So Scyther into Scizor is a trade evolution. It's another metal coat. It's another one. Yeah, I keep on hesitating. I just can't wait to see what they're going to do. I hope they do it right. Scizor, let's give you some information first. So Scyther's top CP to start with is 2464. Scizor's is lower, it's 2270. It's just a different type of Pokemon. So Scyther is Bug Flying, and then Scizor is Bug Steel. The difference being, even though Scizor has a lower CP, so 2270 with 122 HP, has exactly the same HP as Scyther, it's the attack defense that's different. So Scyther's attack defense is 218 attack, 170 defense, and Scizor's is 186 and 196. It's a massive, massive increase. So I think where Scizor's going to come into its own, it's potentially a really good attacker, so an offensive type Pokemon. Bug Steel, I mean, obviously Bug's really, really good against Executor, so you know that's a really good way to use that Pokemon. The stamina's the same for both again, it's 140. So I think it's a really cool looking Pokemon. I must admit, I think Scizor and Scyther are both really cool. So yeah, hopefully we'll see how that's going to work. It's just an interesting dynamic because it's not something that's a lot better. Obviously all the Pokemon that we've looked at so far, if you purely look at, you know, CP alone, everyone, and well, not everyone, but some players are like, oh yeah, I want the biggest CP Pokemon ever. That's not how I play the game. I like looking for really good IVs, great move set. So I'm suppose if I was to classify myself as sort of like a trainer as such, I'm more of a collector. I like collecting good IVs, good move sets, and having a really good variety. And when I find the next one, I'm always looking for the next best Pokemon for my collection of a certain type, and that's the way I play the game. And I think everyone plays the game differently. Some people just want all the Pokemon, they don't really care what the CP is, they'll just evolve them as soon as they get them, and that's cool, you know. Fill up your Pokedex, you know, we've had it drummed into us for years and years and years from all the stuff, you've got to catch them all. And if that's the goal, it doesn't really matter what all the, you know, all the stats are, if you catch them all, you've got to catch them all. So yeah, everyone plays the game differently, and that's another great dynamic about this game, is everyone plays it in their own way, and I think that's really cool, and it creates different talking points depending on how people play, and that's really cool. So Caesar, Scyther. Okay, next Pokemon we're going to talk about is going to be two we're going to put together, and it's holding on to those Eevee candies. Eevee has got two more evolutions. We've got Umbreon and Espeon. Umbreon being a full Dark type Pokemon, Espeon being a full Psychic type Pokemon. Just to give you their max CP at the moment, Espeon is 2252, Umbreon is 2311. I mean, don't get me wrong, neither of these come anywhere near Vaporeon at 3157 CP. You know, everyone knows Vaporeon's an amazing Pokemon in the game. It's in every gym. Everyone's put loads of effort into powering them up. You know, Eevee candies have been pretty easy to come by for most people. I think since they did the diversity changes within sort of the Pokemon game, there seems to be a lot more Eevees around. There certainly is for us. I think where the Pidgeys and Weedles may have lessened slightly, it seems like Eevee's been one of those ones that's been shoehorned in. Obviously it got dropped from 10k eggs into 5k eggs as well. So yeah, it certainly seems to be around a bit more. Umbreon, full Dark type Pokemon, first proper Dark type Pokemon we're going to get. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And then Espeon. Right, the next thing. How do we get these? Obviously we had the Easter egg with the original ones to do with the TV series, to do with Raina, Pyro and Sparky. However, the way we got Umbreon and Espeon was if you evolved Eevee during the daytime, you got Espeon, and if you evolved Eevee at night time, you got Umbreon. This is a little bit trickier in Pokemon GO because in the game, the way you got Jolteon, Flareon, and Vaporeon was either water, fire, or electric stones, and that's how you got it. So now it's just a random occurrence apart from your first time where you can do the nickname trick. If, for those who weren't aware that are watching this video, I'm sure you are by now, if you name your Eevee Raina for the first time and evolve it, you get a Vaporeon. If you name it Pyro, you get Flareon, and Sparky, you get a Jolteon. It only works once, but however, if you haven't done it yet and it's a Pokemon you need, that might be the most important information you've got in a very, very long time. So, rehashing old information, but hopefully it's helped some people out. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with Espeon and Umbreon, and how they're going to do that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be another Easter egg. Maybe you'll have to call it daytime and one nighttime, or day and night, and then evolve it, and maybe that'll be the Easter egg. That'll be quite cool. I haven't heard anyone say that yet. If when it happens and you try that and it works, remember, you heard it here first. Please put a comment. Definitely like the video if it works. So that'd be really cool. But now we're going to move on. So you may have noticed I've changed what I'm wearing. That's not entirely by design. I kind of messed up a little bit. I actually forgot two Pokemon in the list that we needed to add to. That was Chansey turning into Blissey, and also Porygon turning into Porygon 2. Obviously I've been doing a lot of videos just recently, so I did forget. I try and record everything in chunks, but I forgot these two, so hence the change, and you'll see I'll jump back to what I was wearing a minute ago in a minute. But as I said, we'll keep it fluid, we'll keep it real. It's recorded about 5 days later. So, moving on anyway. So, we need to have a look at Blissey. Now, this is a bit of an anomaly, actually. I'm not quite sure if the math is slightly wrong, because the way they obviously work out the CPs and HPs, etc. for the new Gen 2 Pokemon, even though they're not in the game, is exactly the same formula they use to work out the Gen 1s. So, just to give you the information. So, Chansey's current information is the CP, so max CP is 1469 and HP of 407. If you go to Blissey, the max CP is 1234 with a max HP of 414. So that's really unusual. So it's got a lower CP but higher HP, which is really unusual. And then again, the attack, defense, and stamina stats are equally confusing. So for Chansey, you've got 60 attack, 176 defense, and 500 stamina. And then you move on to Blissey, which is 70, 88, 510. I don't really know. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know if that's just the way it is. You know, Blissey didn't really get any stronger in the game. But, you know, in theory, I think it should have done. I think, you know, the CP should have been a lot higher. And I think the HP potentially should have been huge. Obviously, you know, Blissey is one of the highest HPs in the whole game, I think, just behind Ho-Oh. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to speculate anymore because I don't know. So we're going to have to try and have a look as to how that happens. And we'll just go from there and see what goes on. So, that's Blissey. The next one we're going to have a look at, as I said, is Porygon into Porygon 2. So if I just pull the information up for Porygon 2, here we go. So Porygon 2 is going to be another really cool Pokemon. Again, pretty high CP. So 2653 for the max CP for Porygon 2 with 146 HP. You know, that's a pretty good level of HP, to be honest with you. I know Porygon took a bit of a nerf in the recent re-leveling. So to get Porygon 2 back up, that'd be good. Attack stats, 198, 200 defense, and 170 stamina. So it's got really good defensive stats. Again, that puts its defensive stats higher than Snorlax's, which was 180, and then 200, as we were saying earlier on. Kingdra, it was 208, if I remember correctly. So that puts Porygon 2 as a really strong. To backwards it to Porygon normally. So Porygon's original one is 1567. So 1567 compared to 2653, it's almost 1,000 more. And then HP is a lot more, 114 compared to 146. So yeah, really cool Pokemon. Normal types are great in the game because they don't really have many weaknesses. You've got a 1 1/4 weakness to fighting and a 0.8 weakness to ghost. Apart from that, it's quite hard to defeat them. It's the same as Snorlax. That's why Snorlax is so good. It doesn't really have lots of super effective weakness. And the fighting types in the game currently aren't that great. Obviously, we've got Machamp, which is sort of dealing out massive damage. But as far as offensive Pokemon goes, Hitmonchan is now the most effective offensive attacker. So, yeah. So there's 2 more to have a look over. And now, I'm going to do the close change like this. Moving on to the final bit of candy that you need to keep your hands on is Oddish candy. And the reason is again, it's a joint final evolution. And at the moment, Oddish's final evolution in Gen 1 is Vileplume. Vileplume, one of the really good gym defenders at the moment. It's actually quite up there with gym attackers. But as a gym defender, it's a great Pokemon. But it gets a final evolution again with Bellossom. Bellossom is a straight grass type Pokemon. The other one in Gen 1 at the moment only being Tangela. So yeah, out there on its own. So obviously if you just have one type in your Pokemon, technically you've got less weaknesses. You might get super effective damage. All creatures have super effective damage. But if you've just got one type, it makes it stronger. To go into CP again, we've got 2394 max CP for Bellossom. If you compare that to Vileplume, it's 2367. So it's a little bit stronger again. So yeah, really cool Pokemon. And the way you got a Bellossom was evolving it from a Gloom whilst it being exposed to a Sunstone. Again, more items that keep cropping up. So, Sunstone to get a Bellossom. If you want to know where I'm getting some of the extra information from, I say I'm learning all the time with this game. I'm getting it from Bulbapedia. It's a great app. So it's not a current app. It's just on the internet. Bulbapedia.bulbagarden.net. I'll put that at the bottom of the screen. I'll also put a link in the description so you can go and have a look. It's just a great resource for sort of everything Pokemon, really. I mean, looking at Bellossom's page at the moment, it tells you about its abilities, its catch rate, egg group, hatch time, height, weight, Pokedex number. And obviously this is backwards relating to sort of the games as opposed to Pokemon Go, but for all information it's absolutely brilliant and I thoroughly recommend it. So I'm going to stop there. One, because I've run out of Pokemon to talk about, and two, because again with these little informational bits of videos I don't want them to go on forever. I want to get the information across. I want you to learn something, go away, hopefully be able to put that into your game and make you guys better trainers and better players of Pokemon Go. And that's the idea. You know, when I learn this information, I go away and I try and use it and I try and make my gameplay better with it, and that's why I'm passing it on to you. So, hopefully you enjoyed the episode, hopefully you find it helpful. Remember to save up the candy from all the Pokemon we've spoken about, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we might get Gen 2 in time for Christmas. So for now, this has been James on the Mythic Booster Channel. See you next time.